Your child is about to enjoy almost 50 pictures. Let's find out how. Shalom, shalom. I'm Judah Israel, and few announcements. You already know I just released a book titled From Egypt to Egypt, 560 pages, ladies and gentlemen. But I have another book that I'm about to introduce you to. But beforehand, if you have not saw the last video that I did, I talked about this book From Egypt to Egypt, ladies and gentlemen. It is a color printed book. I'm going to show you some images, as you already see, ladies and gents. I talked about that. Okay. From Egypt to Egypt, ladies and gents. That being said, this book is found at mytrueheritage.com. Once again, it's mytrueheritage.com, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the book here. All right. If you want, you can screenshot that, pause, and read that. This is the book side, as you see. And the front cover, this is what it looks like here, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty thick book. Now, that being said, I have another one for you all, ladies and gentlemen. And I definitely thank everyone who's getting this book as well. This one here is called Let My People Go, 10 Plagues, ladies and gentlemen. This is a children's book. Yes, a children's book, ladies and gentlemen. Children's book. You see the gloss printed paper. Ladies and gents, what I'll do is I'll share a little snippet with you, and you'll see what you're getting yourself into when you get this, ladies and gents. So, as you definitely see, I have images that are more historically correct. This here is going to be going over the 10 plagues that happened in Egypt and what led up to it, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'll let you know now, there will be a follow-up. There will be a second book as well, dealing with the 10 commandments as well. So if you get these books for your children, if they get both books, they will learn from Exodus chapter 1 all the way to Exodus chapter 20, which means that they will know 20 chapters in the book of Exodus, ladies and gentlemen. Historically correct, though. Now, I'll go ahead and read a little bit for you. Dedications, as you see here, ladies and gents. You see that gloss paper? Ooh, that premium paper. It is not cheap paper, ladies and gentlemen. Dedication. It says, I dedicate this book to every parent around the world who loves to teach their children and is looking for a place to begin sharing biblical stories. I understand how overwhelming it could be with so many books out there, many filled with imagery, i.e. pictures, that isn't historically accurate. That's why I created this, a place to start. Just like, ladies and gentlemen, for you adults, this is your starter kit, place to start. This is the children's starter kit as well. This is what I said. This is my very first children's book, and I plan to grow and improve with each new project. So let's take this first step together as we learn, develop, and grow alongside our children. On May 1st, 2021, I first announced that I wanted to create a YouTube channel for newcomers to the faith. I originally planned to do a Bible talk with children using the NIV translation. But shortly after, the Most High revealed that the first step wouldn't be video. It would be a book. This vision has been in my heart for over a decade. I remember visiting an Israelite bookstore in St. Louis, Missouri, and saying to myself, one day I want to write a children's book. And here we are. Dreams do come true. So ladies and gentlemen, this was a vision that I had a while back, and here we are. Here we are. The Most High shows me visions, it's come to pass. Then I put the importance, all right? The importance. Picture books matter. Someone say that with me. Picture books matter. It's kind of like when you're an adult. Sometimes people say, well, I don't really like reading books, pictures. Sometimes that follows as an adult. I remember as a youngster, I received a children's Bible, and I remember a black image of a Jesus, and that image never left my head. so a child can see something at a young age and remember. So here we go. The importance. Picture books matter. They help re-educate and reshape the minds of our children while they are still young. While their hearts and minds are still soft like clay. That means you can still mold the children. Children always remember what they see, what they hear, and what you say. This awareness begins in the womb and carries on through early childhood. That's why how you read these books matter. Ladies and gentlemen, how you read it to them really matters. The way you speak to them will shape what they hear. The love and lessons you give while reading will be what they remember. And the pictures, those are the most powerful of all. That's what they'll see. And that's what will stay with them for life. You love your children, you want to educate them, this is the start, ladies and gentlemen. This is the start. Imagery is powerful. It forms the foundation of their understanding. As you read this with your child, point out the background, the faces, the clothing, because they're going to have different clothes. Every detail. Let the images speak just as loudly as the words. This version of the Exodus story has been gently simplified to help children begin understanding the journey of our ancestors. But this is only the beginning. It starts at home with you. Together, we can reshape how our children see themselves and their history. Together, we can give them images that reflect the truth of who they are and where they come from, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're an adult, and if you don't really know much about this story, you can get it as well. Keep that in mind. You also can get it. Then I go into this part, the introducing Hebrew words, all right, which you were able to see. It says, as your children read this book, they'll also be what? Learning their first Hebrew words without even realizing it. It says each main character is called by their Hebrew name. Instead of father, we say Abba. Instead of mother, we say Ima, pronounce, and I'll show you how to pronounce it, Ima. The son is called Ben, it rhymes with hen or men. The daughter is called Bat, rhymes with hot or yat. Here's a quick reference. Father, in Hebrew is Abba. Mother, in Hebrew, it's Ima. Son, in Hebrew is Ben. And daughter is Bat. Okay? So they will be learning Abba, Ima, Bat, Ben. And then, of course, you got Moses right there, ladies and gentlemen. You got Moses, or Moshe. All right, so in honor of St. Louis, where I'm from, there's a family from St. Louis. It says, Abba, where are you taking me, Ben and Bat, today? It's a question that they ask. Ima smiled. Now remember who's Ima? Who's the Ima? That's right, the mother. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Your child will also be learning Hebrew words without even realizing it. And it's your job to help them understand who is Ima, who is Abba, who is Ben, and who is Bat. So it says, Abba, where are you taking me, Ben, and Bat today? Ima smiled. First, we're going to grab food, drinks. Then I'm taking you all to the park so we can read the Bible about the 10 plagues that God sent to Egypt. Because Pharaoh didn't want to let his people go. So you see here, they're on their way to the park. That's where they're headed, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it says, whenever Abba reads us the Bible, it always feels like we're really there. We have dreams and can see these stories. Sometimes we even become the people in the story. Other times, we see them right in front of us. So think of like the movie The Rugrats, the TV show The Rugrats, even the movie. You know how when they do like kid stories and things like that, and the children are like in a dream world, and they either A, become the characters, or B, they're in the story, or like if they're being told a story, it's like they're really there. Children use their imaginations, and that's what is happening here. They're going to go on a journey. They're going to go on a journey. It's going to be exactly like that, ladies and gentlemen. This is them at the park. See it right there? All right. Now you see right here the black Egyptians in the background. That's your job to point that out to them, because it's going to be important later when learning what color the children of Israel was. If you purchased this book already, then you already know why. Because I have a section in the book. Now, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, those who get this book and the children's book, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be learning together. And as you learn together, you'll be able to teach your child what you've learned. There's a section in my book right here, ladies and gents. Let me show you. This is from Egypt to Egypt book. It says, what color were the children of Ham and Israel? And the reason why Ham, well, you'll learn those are the descendants of the black Egyptians, ladies and gentlemen. So it says, it all started in ancient Egypt. Pharaoh didn't like Joseph or the Israelites. The Israelites were also called Hebrews or the children of Israel. So you see how they're really at the park, but when Abba's telling the story, it's like that they're really there in the story, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be very important, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now I'm going to skip because you know, we got to get the book, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This here is an important part here in the story. I'll look at this one right here. You see how the Bible describes the Most High, right? Accurate description of what he's described as looking like. All right. Accurate description of what he's described looking like in the Bible. Moses said, God, what if the Israelites don't believe me or listen to me? What if they say, God didn't come to you? God answered, what is that in your hand? Moses said, my staff. And then God gave Moses a special power to prove he truly sent him. All right. I'll get a few more, ladies and gents. Let's see. Okay. We'll go to this one. So God said in the morning, I will use my power and turn the river into blood. All the water in Egypt turned red, even the Nile River. The fish died. The water smelled bad. People couldn't drink it. So as you see there, ladies and gentlemen, you see the river turning red. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, they are at the park right now. But when Abba reads the story, it's like they're there, ladies and gentlemen. It's like they're there. Okay. It says, but Pharaoh was still stubborn, so God wasn't done. God told Moses, go to Pharaoh again and say, if you don't let my people go, I will cover the land with locusts. Even after the hail, Pharaoh still wouldn't listen. All right. So you see the hail there, ladies and gentlemen. And even if you keep reading, you'll see the locusts and everything. That's giving you a snippet, ladies and gentlemen. All righty. Even at the end, you see the website. All right. And then, of course, the new book that will be coming. Next episode, Let My People Go. 10 Commandments. Visit mytrueheritage.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right. This is a children's book. It is very well put together. The pages are not cheap pages, just like this one. They're both premium paper gloss books, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a preview of what you can get at mytrueheritage.com. Remember, picture books matter, ladies and gentlemen. And it starts now with your children. Do not wait. Get on this now, ladies and gentlemen. mytrueheritage.com. Remember, if you get any of these books, it'll take about a 2-week turnaround time, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, I'm Judah Israel. Shalom.